and then you wait till the end and they're out there and they're enjoying it. That's fantastic. Yeah. So all of those little happy moments that my clients are seeing and experience their own space, a space that they might have owned for a year or they might have owned for 10, 20 years, but they're seeing it in a new light. That's what gives me the chills. That fuels my passion.
Sure.
To keep doing, oh, well, that was a lot of fun. Okay, what else can I do for the next person? What else can I go back to and revisit and also see how excited they are still?
Sure.
Years after the project is in.
Hey there, business enthusiasts. Welcome to the Chills Podcast, brought to you by All Weather Roof. Because just like a sturdy roof, our conversations are built to last. I'm your host, Brent Loberg, and we're about to dive into the world of business, family, and the moments that give us those exhilarating chills. Ever wonder what keeps successful people inspired? Well, get ready to find out as we chat with some fantastic all-weather customers, partners, vendors, and friends. We'll explore their triumphs, challenges, and maybe even some unexpected secrets. After all, business is not just about numbers. It's about the people behind them. So grab your metaphorical popcorn and join us on this journey. Get ready to be inspired, maybe even get a few chills of your own. This is the Chills Podcast. Let the goosebumps begin. Very cool. And how did you get into this?
So that's a fun story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was actually back in high school. I went to my dean and said, hey, this class that's required, I've heard from a lot of my upperclassmates, this isn't going to be very fun. It's slow-growing mushroom movies all the time. I said, but it just says I need a credit in science. What else can I take for my 11th grade year? I think it was 11th grade, maybe 10th grade. She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, it just says a credit. I just need a credit. Oh, I have to take that class that everybody assumes you have to take. She's like, well, let's look into it. So I ended up taking horticulture.
Oh.
Fell in love with it. And one of the chapters or the spaces of study was to do design. And he gives you, here you go, we're doing a front entry, put some plants in, whatever, here's your criteria. I draw it all out. I'm looking around the room. Everybody's like, what do I do? And I'm done. He's like, you feel like you're really getting this, that you're really good at this. Do you enjoy it? I'm like, yeah, that was a lot of fun, but I'm already done. Like, what's next? So based on that, I then applied for my associate in applied science degree over at Hennepin Technical College for nursery management landscape design.
Okay.
And did all of my classes there. Fell in love with it also. Anytime we did design work, okay, I'm doing stuff. I'm done. Everybody else is like still really focused on it. So that's how I fell into it, is that I thought I was going to be a theater geek and live in the theater with the lights off, dressed in black, building sets and all those fun things, because I loved the creation part, but then found that here's this class that I didn't even know existed and might have not even taken unless I read the fine print.
Sure.
And ended up in horticulture.
Wow.
And so here I am over 30 years later, because the math doesn't add up that way. It does. It adds up that way, but I'm not old enough to have 30 years of experience. That's all.
So you've been doing Trio for about 14 years?
This is our 15th season
year.
for Trio.
Okay.
So I've been in the industry since 1995. I was certified in 99 with the Minnesota Nursery and Landscape Association. Worked for a couple of other companies. And then in 2010, I was given the opportunity and a lot of encouragement from some of my other networking partners. They're like, you should really go out on your own. I don't know. I like having like somebody else to go to and ask when I don't know something. To find out I know maybe a bit more than I give myself credit for.
Yeah.
And after reading a lot of how to start a business for dummies and working with a lot of other professionals, that, okay, let's go ahead. It took me a couple of months to kind of get things together and realize that a few of the other companies that I thought I might have wanted to work with were not going to be the fit that I wanted them to be. And so when you start your own company, you can make whatever fit you want. You can market how you want. You can decide what the process is how you want. So there we go. I started Trio.
All right. How'd you come up with the name?
So the name of Trio Landscaping really means me, myself, and I.
Really?
Running the company. It's the royal trio of us.
I like it. So what's your specialty there?
outdoor spaces.
Okay.
If it happens outdoors, I have an opinion about it.
Okay.
It might be a front entryway on how you're approaching the house, how it's viewed from the street, how you're coming up the driveway, because in most of our areas, you come up the driveway to approach the house. How does that sidewalk come up? What kind of front door experience are you having? What color is your front door? How does that all fit in? That's your curb appeal experience. But does it have to stop there? Is really that front door space the best place to go out and have your morning coffee? Or is it the best place for you to hang out in the evening and say hi to your neighbors and become that neighborhood friendliness place? Well, let's keep looking at it instead of, oh, you have to live in your backyard. That's like the only place you're allowed outside in your robe.
Sure.
It's up to you. You get to decide. Maybe your neighbors have some opinions too, but
Sure.
yeah, outdoor living spaces is my specialty, and making sure that all the different things come together. So sometimes I give opinions on the home style, little updates, front entryway ideas, door colors, but a lot of it is, where's your sidewalk? What's your grading? Do you need retaining walls? How can we create that space? When we move into the backyard, what is your outdoor kitchen? Is it just a Weber grill? Is it just your dining room table and nobody actually cooks food? It just magically shows up via DoorDash? There's all those different experiences. So what is it going to be for that particular home owner, for that particular property, to make it their space and create that outdoor living space?
Okay. Lovely. Very well said.
Well, thank you.
I love it. How many employees do you have?
So at Trio, there's myself and 3 others.
Okay.
I don't always focus on 3s. It just happens to happen that way.
Sure.
So we have a fantastic admin assistant, Trista,
Okay.
and she's very passionate about a lot of earthy things and a lot of medicinal plants, really taking it down to nature. Fantastic at communicating our services over the phone. Then we also have our fantastic design assistant. She is my right-hand gal to go out and gather all the measurements and the site data to put it into our drafting program. And we use Vectorworks to be able to create wonderful 2D images that all of our design work is based off of. And we also have the ability for 3D imaging as well.
Okay.
And then I have my project manager, and Shane joined us a few years ago, making sure that we can be on the project as we need to, getting the plant material on and off, because up until recently, that was part of my job as well. But if I'm out in the field for so many hours, I can't be designing in the office the same. So, yeah.
So do you guys just do design, or do you guys do the install too?
We oversee the installations then.
Okay.
We have a number of trusted partners that we've been working with. And so by legal definition, they're subcontractors.
Sure.
But they are our trusted partners that are putting in the projects. So that way we don't have to be just a team of 3. That would wear us all out, very much so.
Okay.
But we can typically install anywhere about 40 to 50 jobs a year with these partners, and with being able to oversee and run job to job with Shane as our project manager. And I stop out on the job sites as well. Matter of fact, I have one to go visit this afternoon.
Okay. You mentioned pollinating or pollinator.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So pollinators and all of the natural lawns, natural spaces has become very popular. It is its own buzzword, pun intended, to be in that space. Some of it might have started from the Lawns to Legumes program that is out there, which actually still really needs funding from the legislature this year. They cut it out of the master thing, so tell your legislators that you want that funded.
Okay.
Because it helps give some money to get people started on those pollinator plants. What are pollinators? It can be your friendly bumblebee, which the rusty patch bumblebee is the new Minnesota state bumblebee, by the way.
It's called the rusty patch?
Rusty patch bumblebee. And he has this little orange patch on his backside.
Look at that.
And he happens to be the mascot of the Lawns to Legumes sign that Metro Blooms puts out. Yeah, so I'm a geek on many levels. I can be a plant geek. I can be an outdoor living geek. I can be a pollinator geek.
I love it.
I love all these.
Cool nails, by the way.
Oh, thanks. This was to support my kids' robotics team. We just were at the state competition, and their color and my color is bright green.
I like it.
Yeah, thanks. So these pollinators, It's your bumblebees, it's your butterflies. It can also be a lot of the other unknown insects that are just carrying pollen from one plant to another. It's what's going to make your apples bloom and your tomatoes ripen, well, not ripen, but create tomatoes and all of these things. Mother Nature has a method of getting stuff from one plant to another because many plants don't have everything that they need in one little flower to make what's happened. It has to come from one flower to another. Sometimes it has to come from another variety of an apple tree to another apple tree to create the apples. So that pollination, that mating to be able to create those fruits, very important. Well, we've become a society that liked to have really green, monochromatic lawns and very simplified landscapes for quite a while. Think 70s, 80s, 90s, all of that stuff. And we wiped out a lot of those. So there's been a huge movement to increase the amount of pollinators by increasing the amount of plant material that can host them. Different types of flowers, different types of trees, different types of shrubs. And by trees, we're talking your evergreen trees, we're talking your maple trees that are in bloom, things like that, all help the pollinators, and especially the oak tree. The oak tree can actually host up to 300 different food web items.
Oh, wow.
Starting with those pollinators. Then the birds eat them, and then things eat the birds, and all of that. So it does go out quite a bit. And again, I can be just a little bit geeky on some of my fun stuff, but those pollinators are fantastic. And we can apply them in the landscape very simply with really low maintenance, really cleanly for those modern looks where people are like, I don't want things messy and fussy, but I want pollinators. Or we can go totally native wildflower meadows and we're tearing out the whole lawn and we're planting everything over with all of these really tall 4-foot Joe Pyeweed and Heliopsis and your hyssop and things like that. Or we can go really short and just have something more of a bee-friendly lawn where we're encouraging more Dutch white clover, not a native, but super helpful when it comes to the pollinators, and also a lot lower maintenance than regular turf grass. But also mixed in there is self-heal and some thyme and all these things that can actually make your lawn more interesting and still really soft to play on as well.
Wow.
So it runs the full gamut.
Wow. So do you guys just do residential or do you guys do commercial as well?
We're residential or owner-inspired spaces.
Okay.
And by that, I have a number of residential clients we've worked with, but then they have this small business property with a little bit of space, and they want to also make it great. So I will work with those as well. But I'm not going to be one to say, oh, here's this bid package. We want you to come in and tell us you're not going to appreciate the value in the plant geekiness and passions that I have, so that's probably not the best fit.
I get it. Have you ever done any green roofs or green spaces on a roof?
I actually have had the opportunity to work with a couple on the design theory of them when I was partnering with some other people. But I have not had the opportunity to have one go all the way to fruition on our own, usually because the owner then realizes that they have to have a different type of roof or to have different substructure underneath that with additional rafters, joists, things like that.
That's where it gets expensive.
It's a little heavy.
Sure. So go back to right before you were starting your business. What made you take that initial jump where, all right, I'm going to break off on my own?
A lot of it was I wanted to make sure that I was communicating with the clients in a way that I thought was beneficial. So I'm not just coming out here to give you a bid. To me, a bid is you know what you want, you have your lists of asks, and then I'm just supposed to check the boxes. That's all I'm doing. You said you wanted a 12 by 12 concrete patio. Okay, here's your bid for 12 by 12 concrete patio. Did that actually address your needs of how you wanted to live outside? Oh, you wanted to put that in front of a 6-foot wide sliding glass door. That's not going to quite give you a lot of space to get in and out that door. Oh, you also wanted a table on that? That table has to seat 6 people so you can fit your family. Oh, and you wanted the grill out there too? Man, that space seems really small now. How are you going to fit that? So by taking on more of that opportunity to give a really good consultation to find out how people are using the space, how they want to live, maybe not even how they currently live in the space, Because maybe they're like, well, we don't entertain because we don't have a place to have people over, so we're not the it house. But we would love to be the it house. We would love to have our friends want to come over here. What does that take? What is your average hosting? We always know that you can have a bigger party. They're probably not going to happen all the time, but there can be that, like this time of year, graduation time. We're not going to create a whole landscape to fit everybody that you're inviting over for your graduation party. Yep. That's going to be a one-time event. But what is your regular group? What are the people that you are going to have over monthly and you want to comfortably enjoy that space? Let's know. Is that 10 people? Is that 14 people? How does that work? Who's there? Are they couples? Are they mixed family where you got toddlers running around along with grandparents or something? What is the accessibility on that site? Then what are you looking to do? Are you out there dining? Are you out there lounging and making s'mores? Are you guys playing games in the yard? What does that look like? By getting to know you, which happens very quickly. And it's like speed dating people. Like, hi, this is your yard. Okay, tell me everything about you, which is why I send out questionnaires ahead of time so they can think about it. And hopefully they can also talk about it with their spouse or their partner. Because you know how often that becomes like a marriage counseling session?
Sure.
Well, I didn't know that you wanted to have another 3 grills out here.
Yeah.
Somebody probably said it along the way, but it
Sure.
wasn't the focal point at that time. So getting to know people and then really figuring that out is part of the reason that I didn't find the right place with some of the other companies.
Got it.
I've come from other companies, and they did some of that process, but it was all about, we want you to sell the project. How many projects are you going to sell? What are your sales rates? Well, that can be important, too, just to keep a company afloat. But when it's really about the spaces, and it's about how people want to live in them, and we start with that big focus, and then I don't pressure them along the way. Like, okay, if you just realize that your dream landscape is going to cost you $50,000, am I supposed to be pushing it down your neck right now? No. What's that going to take for you? Now that you know what that space is going to look like, is that something that needs to happen this year and you're going to figure that out? Or is it, okay, we now have the seed planted. Again, all ties in, right? That seed planted. Now we need to nurture it a little bit more. We need to really find out what else is changing in our family. Is this a long-term goal? Or are we planning for what the toddlers are doing today?
Yeah.
And it's not going to grow into something. I help guide people along that, especially if a mom of 2 now adult children. There's transitions that are in there. So let's make sure that we can have those happening, be safe for the toddlers, and yet create a space for those teenagers and those young adults to still want to come home. Unless you didn't want them to come home. That's different. But then what else does that look like for construction? Is that something that we need to design it now so you can put it up on the dream board so that way you can tell everybody, this is what we want for Christmas. Help us bite away at this really big cost. You know, sometimes it's sponsor a plant or just here's some money that we're throwing at this project or here's a gift certificate from Trio Landscaping to go towards this. Those are the fun ones that I get to play with when we get gift certificates to give back towards landscape. And is it something that's happening this year? Is it something that's happening in a 2 to 3, 5-year plan? We've had clients design with us, and then the project sits on hold, and we're like, I don't know where they went. We check in with them. We don't necessarily hear back from them until, okay, I got it all together. We're ready to pull the trigger. We can do this now. And that feels really exciting that I didn't push people just to hit my numbers, that I help make something very attainable for them.
For sure. I like that. So that leads into a question. So the name of the podcast is The Chills. So what, you kind of touched on, it made you feel good. So what in your business gives you those feel good chills moments, hair stand on the back of your neck?
Ooh, those are when the clients are like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
So it's like the veil's lifted at the end of the project and they finally can come see it. And
it doesn't always have to wait till the end of the project. Sometimes it's during the consultation.
Sure.
As we walk through those different steps and they're seeing their yard from a different perspective or a different opportunity for the first time. Because those list of asks were just a checklist for them. And as we start to do it, it's like I'm meeting with people over Zoom so I can have that screen up so I call them kindergarten drawings. because they're really rough and there's a lot of primary colors that happen there.
Yep.
And I'm drawing it out and I'm like, your patio can be over here and this plant's over here, and we're adding some structure with some trees to block your neighbors so you don't feel like the Johnsonville Brock commercial. I also reference a lot of commercials and shows. And just helping them get that feel.
It's sad that I
for it.
know the commercial. Johnsonville Brats, Johnsonville Brats.
Right? I mean, that's total landscape outdoor kitchen to me. So, but it also does create that visual and that feeling for them as well, although not everybody knows it anymore. I mean, it's maybe not the same commercial anymore, but that's okay.
Yep.
But we walk through, and as we're there in that Zoom call and I'm watching their faces and their reactions to things, you can see where the excitement is building. And then we keep adding, okay, well, what if we do this? Oh, maybe that didn't react the same. Okay, well, what if we did this over here instead and we added this water feature? And then you see one of the partners' faces light up, and I'm like, okay, we're on the right track. We needed to add some other things that they didn't even know were on their wish list because they didn't know what to ask for, but they want something really fantastic. So it can happen during the consultation. It can happen during the design when things are no longer kindergarten sketches, but now all the scaled plans are laid out on a blueprint. Some people can see it. I happen to see it like one of those pop-up storybooks. Like this flat plan to me already has different elevations, different textures, different colors, different scents and aromas to it. My clients don't always see that, so sometimes they need that perspective or that 3D image to help them see what I'm seeing as well. And then they get that aha moment like, oh my gosh, this could be mine? So that's another cool point.
Sure.
And then, yes, there's quite a bit of it that's going to happen as it's really coming to life. Is it happening as a phase where right now we're only able to put in the patio because that was the budget and that was the access that we needed, or however many different if this then that's that came into play? And sometimes it's when it's the whole kit and caboodle. We get to do everything all at once. And then we're standing there at the beginning like, oh my gosh, it's really starting. This project is really going to happen. The bobcat's already tearing up all the dirt and taking out that nasty tree that I didn't like, and the kids' old playset is gone, and they already can see that bit of transformation. And then you wait till the end and they're out there and they're enjoying it. That's fantastic. Yeah. So all of those little happy moments that my clients are seeing and experience their own space, a space that they might have owned for a year or they might have owned for 10, 20 years, but they're seeing it in a new light. That's what gives me the chills. That fuels my passion.
Sure.
To keep doing, oh, well, that was a lot of fun. Okay, what else can I do for the next person? What else can I go back to and revisit and also see how excited they are still?
Sure.
Years after the project is in. So, yeah.
I like it. So think back to 10th, 11th grade when you're sitting there and you're designing this yard. And now that you know all you know about all the species of plants and trees and everything, all the pollination, how does that feel different now that you have all this knowledge when you're designing this stuff? But it's still, obviously, you still have a knack for it.
I still have a knack for it. I very much do identify like, ooh, that was an early Diana thing. Yeah, I can see the way I compartmentalized it. And now I have the freedom, not only with the additional knowledge that I have, but it is also the space is willing. Like if I were to try to tell somebody that we're going to have a lawnless landscape in their front yard 15 years ago, they're going to give me some funny looks. Like, what do you mean you're going to take out all my grass? And this is supposed to help me be lower or easier maintenance than me just going out and mowing every 7 to 10 days. It's different maintenance. It does take a bit more maintenance to get things established. But once they're established, it really can be lower maintenance. You just have to know what the maintenance is.
Yep.
But to look back at the Diana then, yeah, it was maybe a little bit more textbook. It was a little bit more, I won't even say traditional because that word just gets overused, but it was common. It's like, yeah, that's like what you learned. So my designs from back then, and even some that while I was a new designer, just newly minted and newly certified, those designs are ones that I very much appreciate having the opportunity to connect with those clients again and update and upgrade them to the next level of landscape. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So a lot of your business is repeat then.
We do have some repeat,
Yep.
but the repetition is not every week like lawn care.
Yep.
Right there's a huge difference between landscaping and changing and creating all of those things versus the lawn care or the lawn maintenance or the landscape maintenance industry. And too many people put us on the same carton.
Yep.
So we're not out there every week. I'm typically not out there every year with those
sure.
clients.
Makes sense.
However, I do have the opportunity, and this year we have 3 or 4 of them already this spring that we're going back to that we worked with 5 years ago.
Okay. Nice.
We did a front yard phase. Now we're going beyond that. We are expanding into the backyard. We're expanding into the other half of the front yard, and we're doing everything but the phase that we did before to help take them to that next step. So that also is a whole big, like, oh, they love me so much they called me back.
Yeah.
And like that fills my heart.
For sure. That's the best.
So
If someone gives you a referral or calls you back, it's such a great feeling. Talk about the chills, right?
yes. Oh, I don't think people understand how emotional being a designer, so there's an artist part, being a small business owner, but just being me. Like, there might be somebody else that has all those different boxes, but being me, how personally invested, how emotional I do get about each client connection and each project that I have there. There are some of them that are just like over the top.
Sure.
And I'll admit, not everyone is that way. But man, when you get those really good ones, and especially when they call you back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've missed you.
Yeah.
I so enjoy talking to you and help working through your project with you. Like it's like having your best friend back in your circle again. It's
Sure.
fantastic.
Yeah, you can tell you're passionate about it. I love it. So when you first started, how did you build your business and get more clients, and what was that process like?
It was the right time and the right place is really how that lined up. The company that I was with was a garden center, a commercial installer, and then also residential landscape. And that is we were coming out of the recession, the 2008 recession at that time, and we'd already had some receding of our designers. We'd already had some of our other numbers go down, and they decided that they were going to cut that department. Like, okay, well, I'm going to go find something else, do something else. And it was okay for me to take a couple of the clients that I had already established a relationship with. So I reached out to the clients. This is what I'm going to do. I don't know the name of my company yet, but I'm starting something. Would you like to continue working with me? I was given the option that you can. Would you like to? And they're like, yeah, we do. I'm like, all right, they like me enough. I feel really good, right? We can keep going on. And so I had just a couple of clients, and it was a lot of calls. It was a lot of making sure that we put all the door hangers on the neighborhood of the projects that we were doing, and a lot of that networking amongst some of my business peers. I was part of a business networking group at that time, which was the biggest support of being a brand new, newly minted solo entrepreneur, to have the support of, oh, you're the print shop. You're reminding me I should probably print these door hanger cards. That's awesome. Okay, let's do this and that. So that's kind of how we got started. And I think I probably had about 10, 15 projects that first year that went through. And then it just kept growing as I was building my website and getting found that way. And at that time, I would have a guy come over to my office and teach me what the HTML code was so I could actually finish working on it and building it myself. So I was building a website. I was designing. I was answering the phones. I was on the job sites. I was managing the plant materials. All those hats stacked up, all while I had a kindergartner and a toddler to parent with.
Wow.
And so I have, and that's part of our senior stuff, as my youngest is now graduating this year, so I get to pull out all those wonderful images of this is how you hung out with mom before. Here you are hauling this this piece of sod, they were helping the crew, which some of my clients at the time, they're like, that's child labor. Yes, it is. It's my child, and he is helping your project. And now the guys laying the sod don't have to get up off their knees every 2 seconds. They needed the other guy's little cut because my toddler is the one going back and forth.
Love it.
He thought it was great. He was being so helpful.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Do your kids still work in the business at all?
My oldest one, many people, as we were doing home shows, my oldest one was doing home shows with me, like where we would have a table and a booth, and it would be that day that you were looking for new roofing, new siding, and landscaping. We would do those little shows, and he started when he was 7 and ended up taking over my whole booth. You could tell everything about the company to people and have an intelligent conversation. So he has helped with my marketing in those pieces all the way up until we stopped doing those shows at COVID.
Okay.
He still does go and do some of the networking things for me. My youngest loved to be called the gopher. He picked his own title.
Okay.
And he was the gopher because you're going to go for this and go for that. And he was going back and forth with those sod pieces and things. He also does help pull plant material when we need it. He will help, like, okay, we need to get ready. I need signs in the truck. I need the trailer all hooked up, all of those things. And so he'll go prep everything. So they are my other assistants that are not technically full-time employees, but they're definitely a big part of the ability to grow my business to where it is today. So yes, shout out to Nathaniel and Alex for that.
Okay.
And my husband too. I mean, you can't grow anything and you can't do anything if you don't let your wife stay up until 2:00 in the morning reading how to start a business book. Or our first office space was in our bedroom. So I'm like, nope, I'm designing something. And he's like, well, that's okay. I'm going to bed. All the lights are on.
Yeah.
He's over there snoring away. It's fine.
Love it.
Huge support from my husband, Mike, as well.
Sure. Good to hear. Yeah. So we do commercial roofing. I have a couple favorite roof systems, even though there's hundreds of them. Do you have a couple favorite plants or trees that you always sneak in or that you...
My staff recently asked me that question.
Okay.
As we were putting out some things this spring. And it's really hard because my favorite plant also means, well, what is this sandy soil? Is this clay soil? Is this really wet soil? Like, what is the purpose of that plant? But we realized I had to narrow it down, and I still had to narrow it down by tree, shrub, flower, because those also are way different things. So my favorite tree right now is serviceberry.
Okay.
And those are in bloom here across the metro right now.
Okay.
And that little white flower is then going to become a delicious berry later here in June. And it is delicious. It tastes like mixed berry. So it's not really a blueberry. It's not a raspberry. It's that in-between mixed berry. And if you get them just right, super delicious. By the way, the city of Minneapolis does plant them in their public parks, and I am known to go through and even eat them out of there as well.
Nice.
I don't know what
I've
the
never
rest
heard of it.
of Minneapolis is
Serviceberry.
doing. But yeah, so serviceberry, its common name is also known as Juneberry because that's when the berries are ready.
Okay.
And it is usually a multi-stem shrub/tree. You can get them at a number of the different garden centers that are around in the metro as well. Typically grow to be about 15 to 20 feet tall.
Okay.
And then they have a gorgeous orangey red fall color to them. So you get a spring flower, you get an edible fruit, you have a green leaf during the summer, and you get a fantastic fall color.
Oh, nice.
Of this medium size, so it really fits into a lot of the urban and suburban spaces. Wonderful. I mean, the deer love to nibble it too, so got to be a little cautious, but it's a wonderful, wonderful plant. And it fits into all of those pollinator things. Like, it is really great for that.
Okay.
Then we start focusing on shrubs. I love a lot of grow low fragrant sumac. I use it to plant under things. I use it to cover hillsides and slopes. It smells like mint, so it has that, I call them scratch and sniff plants.
Okay.
Like you can touch them, you crush the leaf a little bit, you get this spearmint scent out of it, and then it has a gorgeous red fall color.
Okay.
Deep red, not that orangey red that we were just talking about with serviceberry. Deeper red fall color. But
Is that like steakhorn? Or what's...
No, it is related. That's part of the sumac family. So kudos to you. You know some plants. I love it. But this one is, the Grow Low Fragrant is a different leaf shape, and it stays low to the ground. It usually is no taller than 3 feet tall, but it does spread 6 to 8 feet wide, which makes it a really good economical plant to help cover the slopes and the hillsides, especially for a lot of those hills in Minneapolis and the outer suburbs where they don't want to mow that hill anymore. So what else can we put in there that can help take over that doesn't need a ton of care?
Okay.
It's used commercially a lot too. So you're going to see that in some other parking lots and other harsh, not a lot of input areas, which usually lets me know that the homeowners can treat it as low maintenance as well. When it comes to the flowers, though, the perennials, they're all over the place. So it's kind of the flavor of the week that happens there. Like right now, I was on a walk through the woods and found a lot of little hepatica coming up. So I get so excited about that. My husband's like, hey, come over here. Oh, I thought you'd get really excited about this little purple flower. And I was. But just watching everything come up and bloom. So when it comes to the perennials, it really is what's in bloom right now that's going to capture my excitement.
Sure. So is it hepatica? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's a tiny little spring ephemeral.
Really little teeny ones.
Yes, with really cool leaf structure and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. You don't see a lot of them in a place. You kind of just see them spotty.
You see them spotty, and you're going to see them more. You won't necessarily find them in a landscape because the spring ephemerals are a little harder to obtain and then plant and then remember that they're there.
Because they're so delicate?
They're
or
delicate,
what?
and they disappear by June.
Okay.
They're only out there in that early spring. So here in the Twin Cities, you really have to go out into some of the cooler woods to find them, and maybe even further north as well.
Okay.
But they're hard to get into the landscapes, and I don't have a lot of clients that want to go that direction yet. But guess what? I'm going to find some people. I'm going to find some people that want to add those to their landscape, and we'll find the bare root plants. There are sources for them as well.
Sure.
But my really good, like, hard-working perennial that I love to include everywhere that tends to do really well is salvia. There are so many different colors, and I call them flavors.
Okay.
Because there's some pinks, some purples, there's some bluish ones, things like that. But it is a long-blooming perennial. So it is typically going to start in June, and you can get that plant to bloom all the way into the end of September, sometimes October, if Mother Nature doesn't, like, fry us out partway between or something. But really, really long blooming. It is a cultivar plant, but yet I see so many pollinators, so many butterflies hanging out on it. So it makes it really, really nice in the landscape. So I like to include those in quite a few groups. And then there's all my other fun native plants.
Sure.
Native coneflower is not, like, super exciting to look at, but man, it's super exciting when you see the pollinators attracted to it. We have so many more showier cultivars that we tend to use in the landscape for that wow factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Bonus question for you. So I loved the movie Karate Kid growing up. Mr. Miyagi with his bonsai trees. I can't keep them alive. I've killed like 6 of those things. What am I doing wrong? Do you know a lot about bonsai? Or?
So those are now going to be considered more of a house plant.
Yeah.
Because you have a very restricted bound root system of what would be a very large native tree. So the art of bonsai is its own art of caring for and encouraging that plant just right.
Okay.
And they only touched on that a little bit in the movie because there's a lot more to it.
Sure.
I will admit that houseplants have its own different set of rules and likes and things versus the outdoor landscape where we are really relying on a lot of Mother Nature. What is she going to do with the native soil that is there and with the conditions that are happening? So I probably shouldn't admit this as a plant person, but I too kill houseplants.
Yeah.
And even if things die in the landscape, I tend to take them off my really hardy list. And if my mom kills them, then they're definitely not on a hardy list because the whole green thumb thing kind of skipped her for a while. She's trying again now that she's all retired and has more time. She's really trying, and she can grow some things now. But when I was growing up, she killed everything.
Yeah.
And my grandfather was a farmer kid, and he and I get to talk trees and enjoy that when we were growing up, especially as I was starting to find landscapes. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So how do people get in touch with you?
So people can find us on our website.
Okay.
We're at triolandscaping.com. So that's TRIO.
Okay.
as in the three of us.
Yep.
That is the best way to reach out to us to learn a little bit more about us and understand that. But you can also reach out to us directly at 612-562-8746.
Okay.
And we will answer the phone, talk to you, and see if your project and you yourself are a good fit for how we do our work. Plus, you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. So those are our two favorite platforms. We have some stuff out there on YouTube and things as well. And I have a goal of doing more, but I usually end up in my office designing and having fun talking to the clients so that I forget to go out and do the video things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, this was very fun. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thanks so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap, folks. A huge thank you to our incredible guests and, of course, All Weather Roof for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed these conversations as much as we did, don't forget to hit subscribe and share the chills with your fellow business aficionados. Remember, it's not just about business, it's personal, and it's all about the people. Stay inspired, chase those dreams, and let the chills guide you. Till next time, this is Brent, signing off from the Chills Podcast. Catch you on the flip side.